Hello everyone, my name is Autumn Hamilton. I'm the founder of Happy Horizon Hamster Haven. We're a small animal rescue located in Cincinnati, Ohio. And we made this YouTube channel to go over some small animal topics that you guys might be interested in. So today's topic is actually going to be a kind of review video. I'm going to be reviewing different ads on the internet, whether that be from Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, people trying to rehome small pets, and I'm just going to be reviewing the ad and kind of giving my stance on what would need to be changed for that animal to have a happy life, and kind of what score I would give them, like 1 out of 10 on like urgency to need to be rescued. And I do want to put a disclaimer. I'm not going to post the locations, but these are pretty local to me, or somewhat local within a few hours. So some of them that I will list, I have already reached out to them to either try to get them myself, or a lot of times they're too far away, so I can't really go and help them. Luckily, I've had a few transporters around Ohio that have helped me out rescue some hamsters. But yeah, so we're not going to be ridiculing anybody in this video. We're not going to be being mean to these people. We're not going to be messaging these people. You're welcome to message them just to say, hey, this care isn't quite right, but I've found a lot of times, because they're getting rid of them, they don't really care anyways, so half the time they'll just block you. So what I try to do is I try to either like put it in my local group to see if somebody else can save them, or if they're close enough, I'll save them. So we want to be nice to all these people. A lot of these people are just not knowledgeable about proper hamster care. They might have been like a last minute decision, or kind of a spur of the moment decision to get one of these pets, and now they're kind of figuring out it's not really for me. And a lot of these people haven't done the proper research, so we want to be kind to these people, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So we want to try to educate these people and not ridicule them. And with that being said, let's get into our first one. Alright, so I have my little tablet here. I'm going to be reading off some of these, and then I'll also put pictures up here of the posts, just kind of with pictures or the descriptions, but I'll kind of read them off here for you as well. So the first one we're looking at here is, it says complete hamster setup, $45. Complete hamster setup, tank/enclosure, exercise wheel, hamster ball, extra food, extra bedding, etc. $45 for everything, and then pick up near wherever they're located. So the pictures I'm looking at here, it is a 10-gallon tank with a tank topper. So many of you know the minimum cage requirement for hamsters is about, nowadays it's probably about 700 to 800 square inches of floor space, and 10-gallon tanks, gosh, I'll have to find roughly how big they are, but they're definitely way too small for a hamster. And then also the cage topper, obviously hamsters are not very good, they're not very coordinated, so they're going to be falling off these ledges, injuring themselves, especially because there doesn't seem to be a lot of bedding in there either. So lots of injuries could occur that way. Oh, and then this other picture looks like it's on a wire mesh wheel, which is a big no-no. They can get their little toes caught in it and injure themselves. And then it looks like we have some kind of shavings. If it's aspen shavings, it's probably fine, but it could be pine shavings. We want to stay away from pine because it's not good for the respiratory system. And then it looks like he's got one hide in there. So not much enrichment, not much bedding, lots of dangerous stuff in this enclosure. Not great. I would probably rate this on 1 being they really need saved like right now, and everything about them about their enclosure needs to be changed, and 10 being they have everything they need, they just need a new home. I would probably put this at a 2, because for real, like, all of this stuff is harmful for them. He could get injured super easily. There's not any enrichment. Yeah, it's not great. And actually, this little guy, I got one of my coordinators in Columbus to go ahead and rescue him. So she did go ahead and rescue him from this 10-gallon tank. So he is in our care now. We named him Willow. He did look pretty rough when we first got him. His coat was looking pretty rough. He's about a year old. But with a sand bath and proper care, he improved a lot and looks totally great now. He was itchy when he first came in with a sand bath. Now he's totally fine. His coat looks good. He is acting like a hamster. He's active. So we have him in a good situation now, and he'll be up for adoption. Well, he is up for adoption now, Mr. Willow. So we're glad that we could save him. But yeah, not great. So let's go on to the next one. So our next one is another hamster, and the description reads, "Great Christmas present, female hamster in cage, along with food and bedding, all for $25. What a steal." So I'm starting to look at these pictures here, and it's not looking good. Looks like the wheel is very small. Looks like the cage is very small. I would only recommend this as like a travel carrier maybe, but yeah, it's super tiny. There's nowhere for it to burrow. Looks like it's got some bedding in there. I can't tell if it's shavings. Hopefully it's paper bedding, because I don't trust people. Most people get pine shavings, and I don't know. No. Looks like we got a tube coming out the top. I'd be afraid that the hamster would like fall out of the tube and to get hurt. And also, you got to be careful with tubes, especially with the bigger hamsters, because they can stuff their cheeks and get stuck in them. So I don't recommend the tubes. They just don't really get anything out of it. Just give them more space to actually burrow, and they'll love their time a lot more. So don't like that. And then also we got like a cotton house in there, it looks like fleece. We don't recommend fleece with small animals like hamsters and gerbils, because they will chew it and they can get tangled in it. We don't want the hamsters putting it in their pouches, like the stuff. So it's not great. And then also it looks like, oh, there's a salt lick in there. Guys, small animals don't need salt licks or mineral licks. Please just don't. Their food, if they're being fed a proper diet, they should be getting the nutrients themselves from the food. So don't add a salt lick. It's just not beneficial. They don't need more salt in their diet. And then it looks like the bedding is like saturated right here. I don't know if he was peeing in one spot or if the water bottle's leaking, but I would worry about with a lot of saturation. You got to clean those areas because they can get moldy and gross. So this hamster looks to be in pretty rough shape. I believe this person was too far away for me to go get it, so I did post it in a group to try to get somebody else to save it. Hopefully somebody else did, but yeah, this cage is not good. I feel bad for this little guy, this little girl, and yeah, so I'd probably put that at like a 2 out of 10, because it's pretty dangerous in there. At least it's not being like fed as like snake food. Pretty much like, if it's just like in a small container and then labeled as snake food, that's what I'd be like a 1. But this is like a 2, maybe a 3, but yeah, it's not great. Alright, let's see what our next one is. Alright, so this next one, it looks like we got some rats here. Here's the description. This comes with a 4-store cage for ferrets, 2 enlarged rat balls, bedding for the cage, and rat food. It also comes with 2 adorable buddies that must stay and sew with the cage. Price $100. If you would like more pictures or information, please feel free to reach out. For some pictures, I'm not able to to reach out some pictures I am not able to post. I can send you them if asked. Grammar. Yes, everything will be cleaned and broken down and boxed if interested. All right, and looks like a wire kind of tall cage. It's not horrible. I'll go back to the kind of description. I got some problems already just from the description. So, enlarged rat balls. So I'm guessing they mean like a hamster ball, like the ones that you can put them in there and they'll kind of run around the room. So those are not suitable for any small animal. They can get their little fingers trapped in there. It makes them confused. They bump into things. They can hurt themselves. So it's definitely not recommended. And then, yeah, they didn't really put a lot of descriptions about the rats themselves, but it looks like they got some bedding in there. Looks like paper bedding. That's okay. We got water, food. Looks like there's not really any hammocks or much going on. Rats are very playful and they need a lot of enrichment and mental stimulation. So the cage itself isn't horrible. I always recommend going bigger is better. So I always recommend my top cage for rats is like the Midwest or the Critter Nation, just because they have so many levels and they're sturdy. They're not going to chew through it, and you can add so many hammocks and toys and stuff. So it's not horrible. I'd probably give this like a 5 out of 10. Like, they definitely could be rescued and get in a lot better situation, but I wouldn't say like they're being like abused or anything. But yeah, so there's that one, and then we'll go on to the next one. All right, our next one is another hamster. It looks like on Facebook Marketplace. I feel like there's been a lot more on Facebook Marketplace than Craigslist nowadays. I don't know, I guess people just think they're an item, can just be sold on Facebook Marketplace. But anyway, so the description reads, "Hello, I'm selling this Chinese dwarf hamster. I've had him for a little while and I can't keep up with him. He has his own cage and also has 2 food bowls that come with a wheel and a water bottle, and on top of his cage he has a little igloo." And then I'm going to look at this. So this is a critter trail, which we all know these are horrible cages. I'll occasionally use them, like the simplified ones, as travel carriers. They're okay as travel carriers, but never long term. They're like really super tiny, like I think even smaller than like a 10-gallon tank, which is super tiny. And then having 2 levels doesn't really make up for it. They don't have room to burrow. It looks like we got some paper bedding in there at least, so we can at least cover ourselves to hide. But yeah, looks like we have a food bowl. Looks like the food might be oxbow, which is not good for hamsters. It's like a Timothy-based food, and they're omnivores. They need a lot of like seed, protein, all that kind of stuff. So we recommend like Higgins Sunburst or Bunny Nature hamster food with like a lab block. And so yeah, it looks like the hamster's probably not getting much nutritionally from it. Looks like that's all that's offered is just those little Timothy O's. And then the igloo, it's just like barely fitting in the top there. I feel like it's kind of pointless at this point. It's like the whole top is like a hide pretty much because it's so small. But yeah, so let's see. At least it's a Chinese at least. So I really worry about Syrians just getting stuck in these cages, especially in the tubes. But hopefully this little guy's okay at least and not going to get injured. So I'm not as worried about injury, but it definitely is not suitable whatsoever. It's very tiny, no room to run or do anything. And it is a Chinese hamster, so the wheel is definitely too small that's in there. Usually the wheels in here are like 6 inch or whatever fits in there, which is not very big at all. And Chinese hamsters are like in between a dwarf and a Syrian hamster, so they're pretty big. So they definitely need a bigger wheel. So not great for this little one. I'd probably put it at like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. At least I don't feel like it's gonna get like injured by something. instantly in the cage, but it definitely is a stressful environment for this hamster. Definitely stressful, needs to get rescued for sure. And I believe this one was also too far away for me to pick up. Alright, our next post looks like a hamster. Facebook Marketplace. The post says Siberian hamster, cage for hamster, 2 packages of bedding and hamster ball. And then the description says purchased 2 months ago. It's real specific. And I'm trying to zoom in to look here. It looks like the hamster's behind this bowl here, and it looks like it might be a dwarf, but I don't know if they were trying to say Syrian hamster or Siberian hamster. That might just be another name that they call hamsters in the pet stores. But yeah, this cage looks pretty bad. It has 2 levels. It's not very big. Not much bedding at all. The hamster can't really cover itself up at all. It has 1 house. Looks like some food, but I'm not sure if that's a good food. Let's see. And then also, let's talk about the hamster ball. Again, we don't recommend hamster balls. We don't want them to get hurt. Playpens are always recommended over hamster balls. It looks like we got some water. Just kind of like the bare necessities. I found a lot of these. It looks like these posts, looks like people just got like a starter set up and then they got bored of them and then wanted to rehome them, because they don't really have much stuff at all. I don't see any toys, no enrichment. Yeah, not great. I'd say probably it's probably a 3 out of 10. It's not great. Definitely needs rescued. I believe this one was too far for me to get. So I believe it's sold now, so hopefully he got a good home and everything. But yeah, this is not great. We don't like that. And then also another thing you got to be careful about with wire cages and hamsters is that if they start showing stress behaviors, they'll start bar biting, climbing the bars, monkey barring, so they can really hurt themselves by doing that. So we really want to try to not have cages that are barred if you know that your hamster shows stress behaviors. But yeah, so 3 out of 10, not great. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, and then this should be our final one, I believe. So this is another hamster on Facebook Marketplace, and it says free hamster in cage, $1, and there's no description. So I actually already messaged this person because it is pretty close to me. They have not responded to me. I do want to rescue it if possible, so I'm trying my best to get into contact with this person so I can rescue it. But yeah, this cage is like one of the worst out there, I think. I don't know if it's supposed to look like kind of like a maze or like a pinball or like a game kind of situation, but this cage is just not great. Like, they can barely move around in the top part. Like, I feel like a Syrian would get stuck. I can't tell what kind of hamster this is. It's laying on, like, one of the shelves. It's not even covered or anything. Probably because there's nowhere for it to comfortably sleep. Looks like it's right up against that wheel. Looks like it might be a dwarf hamster. I really feel like a Syrian hamster, like, would not even fit in this. And then the wheel, it has, like, an upright wheel, and then it also has a saucer wheel. Saucer wheels are not really recommended, at least for long-term use, because they they kind of run in an odd way when they're running on a wheel that's like flat like that. They're not running like straight up like you would on a treadmill. It's kind of like sideways, so they're kind of bending. So I'll occasionally give them one of these, like a really big one in their playpen, but I won't keep this in their regular cage. And then looks like there's no toys, no enrichment. Looks like we got some food in there. That's about it. Yeah, it's super tiny. And I really want to save this one. So this is probably a 2 out of 10 because it's just looking pretty rough, and I'm sure this little one is probably monkey barring in there trying to get out. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comments if you want another video like this. I could do like a wider range of animals, like some guinea pigs, some rabbits, kind of mix it up. Today was mostly hamsters and like 2 rats, but let me know if you like this style of video, just kind of critiquing things that need to be changed with a lot of ads out there, and hamsters and other small animals that need rescued. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more small animal content, and we will be back in the next video.